What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Midnight Run presentation of the WandaVision Watch Party. And this is episode 7. I'm joined by Mad Vids and Tyler from Pop Culture Corner. What's going on, you guys?
What up?
And guys, what is you got your coffee? You ready to go?
I am.
You're not going to fall asleep on me? I love it. Okay, so guys, we have a very special guest I want to welcome to the show. He comes all the way from, same state you're in, Matt, in Texas. And it's been a rough time over there because of the weather and the power, and it's just been tough, right? Am I right?
Yeah, very tough. Yeah,
very tough. Please welcome Chris Parker from 3CFilms. What's going on, Chris?
Hey, man, you guys hear me all right? Everything sounding
sir.
okay?
Everything sounds great.
Awesome. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right, man. How about you?
Good. Just woke up 10 minutes ago for all this.
Right on. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming out here and hanging out with us for the pre-show. This should be a good episode. I think it's really going to take off at this point. And we know that in this episode here that we're going to get the reveal of who the aerospace engineer is going to be. And there was a quote earlier in the week from, I forgot her name. She plays Monica Rambeau, and she said that she was excited. She was excited to see the reactions and when we see who the aerospace engineer is going to be. Now, Chris, I know you've done a ton of videos on WandaVision. Who do you think it's going to be?
Even with her saying that, I still feel like it's going to be a low C, D level, somebody in the MCU. I don't think it's going to be like a Reed Richards or anybody huge like that. I mean, it would be awesome, but I just feel like WandaVision lately has been a bunch of characters that we thought were going to be huge, and then we're nobody. The Beekeeper, Dottie, and now this aerospace engineer. So it might be someone that like is small and significant. Like if you go back and look up their name for the comic book, like, oh, this person will eventually become this dude. But I don't know if it'll be like a Reed Richards type level thing. You guys?
Matt, go ahead. You go first.
I don't know, man, because they've kind of dragged it. I thought they were going to show it last episode who this character was, and if she's saying like it's going to be like she can't wait to see people's reaction. I don't know. It may not be up there like you're saying, but it's definitely going to be somebody. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Reed Richards would be a good pick.
Yeah.
And real quick, Ty, Kinky Sphincter, he's one of the fans of the show. He lives in Texas as well, so he's been dealing with the same issues. I guess there's been a lot of power outages in that state. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of power outage. I lost water yesterday.
Damn.
Yeah.
And for Chris being a full-time YouTuber without any power, what do you do?
I steal my neighbors. No, I just well, I got lucky where I haven't had a power outage, but like people like my parents, my in-laws, they were all getting power in and out and stuff like that. But I was prepared for it. I had all my portable chargers for like the computer or the camera ready in case that did happen. I needed to make a video, but it was a little scary.
Seriously, I mean, it's like no power at all. It's crazy. And now, Ty, you're in Boston, so you're far away from all of this. But let me ask you, who do you think the aerospace engineer is going to be in this episode?
How did that correlate?
What?
How did that just correlate? Being far away.
That was
because they live in the same state.
Oh, okay.
Matt and Chris, they live in the same state.
Master of segues, Nicotina.
Just remember,
that's it, man. That's what they call me.
You're getting a small taste of what my winters look like.
I know. That's what I was about to say. If you're from Boston, then this is nothing to you.
Like we just had that this morning, and that's Tuesday. So,
that's Tuesday.
I'm gonna go a different way with it. I kind of do. I don't think it'll be I don't think it's Reed Richards, but I don't think it's. I don't think it's a D level character. I honestly, I've been seeing so many things on the internet that like my mind is so cluttered with who it could be that I'm not actually thinking too straight on it. I know I saw a meme the other day. It had a bunch of different characters and it was like Mephisto. No, this person's Mephisto. This person's Mephisto. This person's Mephisto. And I was just thinking about it. I was like, oh yeah, I actually did that to every single one of those people. Like
exactly.
One of them in the show, I was like, yeah, that's Mephisto. Nope. So I'm not sure. I'm just as curious.
Well, I mean, there's also been a lot of talk too that now the main villain may not be Mephisto, that it could be Nightmare. as the main villain, but because we know that he's supposed to be the villain in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, so maybe this is how they introduce the character, which it very well could be, but it still feels like, all this is happening because, Mephisto is feeding off of her hex magic, which is making him stronger and stronger. Now, when we saw Evan Peters, the first time we saw him in the show, we saw that the alarms went off, so that there was a breach in the hex. So is it possible that Evan Peters is in fact Mephisto, or whoever this villain of the series is? Could he be that villain? Chris, what do you think?
I think it is going to be Evan Peters. I think a lot of people just don't want to believe it because it's our first sign of the multiverse. But I mean, it could be two birds, one stone. It could be Mephisto pulling in a version of Quicksilver from a world that he knows exists, other than like Aaron Taylor Johnson, since he actually is dead. And like they established that whatever Wanda can recreate or warp reality, it needs to be inside the bubble first. So maybe Mephisto just couldn't get his hands on the dead carcass of Aaron Taylor Johnson and needed to bring in Evan Peters. But I mean, there's just a lot of off things, like his version has memories of growing up in Sokovia when the Fox version like grew up in America. Even the power isn't all that the similar. Whenever he moves around, he leaves a trail behind. In the Fox version, he never did anything like that. That's just like the Aaron Taylor Johnson version. So I feel like it's him. Also, he's like keeps making douchey comments and being rude and stuff like that, and like doesn't fit in line with the Fox version. So there's something up, and I kind of hope this episode picks up exactly where the last one left off, where Wanda threw him, and then we just left him there. If he's gonna get up with like a red face of like, oh, I'm Mephisto, or I don't know.
He's like, my mask. And guys, if you haven't done so yet, smash that like button and hit the subscribe and the bell notification button so you're always notified of any new content my channel puts out. We have 3C Chris Parker on the show tonight, guys. We're talking about MCU and WandaVision. So this show in general, like, look, it started out really slow, and a lot of fans were kind of apprehensive of the show, but it's really taken off, and we've all really enjoyed this show. So, Chris, how have you felt about WandaVision so far, from start until where we're at now?
I actually did like it from the beginning. I like that it did release 2 episodes at first and whatnot. Like I did grow up watching sitcoms, maybe not like the black and white Lucy, but like I knew enough of like, oh, this is the formula, the little geekiness, laugh track, the cheesy comedy. So I was fine with it, and I also knew it was temporary, and it would eventually lead up to like what they were saying would be like the Modern Family sitcoms or the Office type humor, which I think is this episode tonight. So I was really digging it. It just was like in the 3rd episode when I was like, okay, I like the sitcom stuff, but I really want to see this stuff going outside the bubble. And now, like on episode 4, they finally found the perfect balance where it's like half sitcom, half, Marvel movie every week.
Yeah. And it's true because it starts off like a sitcom and then it goes right into a Marvel movie. Now, in the last episode, we saw that that Vision is fully aware now that this is not real, and he tried to escape the hex, and what we saw, it looks as if he cannot exist alive outside of the hex. So he's definitely dead. Yeah. But what's also kind of scary and also kind of sad is that, he's the engineer. Got it. Okay. So, and Jack Pierre wanted to say, 3CFilms, thank you for making good videos about movie news. Hey, if you guys haven't done so yet, subscribe to his channel, man. Hey, thank you. 3C puts out some of the best content on YouTube. I know it's hard to hear, man, but I tell you, every morning, like when I see your videos, dude, they're hilarious. They're everything that I need. I was like, dude, this guy's got it, man. He's got to figure it out. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
And he also has a gigantic Funko collection as well. You can see them all plastered to his wall.
Too many.
It's too many. So he tried to escape, and he was literally being ripped apart because he could not exist outside of the hex. Now, because of that, and because I forgot the kid's name, but Wiccan realized that something was wrong because he's starting to understand that he has powers now, and his powers are similar to Wanda. So she decided to expand the hex, because I guess she didn't know exactly where Vision was at or how far away he was. So she just expanded it, and she turned the sword facility into a circus, literally. Hey, Chris was like, I haven't seen the episode yet. Oh,
no, yeah.
So, but also Darcy. Now she was handcuffed to the car, and the dude just left her. He didn't even try to help her out. He was like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "Hey, what the hell?" So now she's in the hex. But obviously, I mean, look, anyone who goes in there, they don't really remember who they are. I mean, maybe the beekeeper did, but whatever happened to him, we still haven't seen what became of him once she saw him. Did he get booted out? Did he get turned to somebody else? I don't know.
That's what I imagine when she said no and reversed everything. He just crawled back down and exited the hex, maybe, or he just became another character in the thing. Like I always thought it was like 30 or 40 people in there, and then that one episode they were like, "Oh, there's thousands of people trapped in there." I was like, "Whoa, what the heck?"
Yeah, I was like, "Where is that?"
I think they did that because they were like, "Okay, hey, let's just put like thousands of people in there. That way you can't be like, oh." You can't track everybody.
The kids came out of nowhere. I was like, where the fuck did these kids come from? And then Quicksilver finally asked.
And then we saw the woman who was basically stuck, and she was crying because she couldn't move. And essentially, they're all prisoners in this fake reality.
Do you guys think it actually is Wanda, though? Like, I feel like they're being vague. Like, whenever Vision did that little mind thingy to his coworker, and he just said, "She's in my head." Like, do you think she is Wanda, or she could be like Agnes? Or Mephisto in this version could be a female.
Yeah, I think they're definitely being coy, like vague with us for a reason, right? It's like a classic misdirect.
Yeah.
Right. So there's something definitely like if this show has taught us anything, it's that whatever you think you know, you don't know. So whatever the least possible option, probably that one. So that's the way I'm trying to think about it.
So yeah, it's really hard to kind of figure out, you know, if she's the one who's controlling all of it. I still feel like there's somebody else in play helping her do all of this. I mean, but then again, you know, Wanda Maximoff is an extremely powerful mutant. So, I mean, she's capable of doing this in the comics, but I don't know if she's capable of doing this at this point in her life in the MCU.
Plus, didn't she freeze everyone? Like in place, whenever she was expanding, and they're out of her range, I guess, was like people were just frozen.
It would feel like there was somebody else helping her.
I mean, there could be another force, but I mean, so far what we've seen, I think she's in control a little bit.
Tadefa writes, "I think it's Wanda, but Agnes is controlling Wanda." I still feel that Agnes is the representation of Agatha Harkness, and that she's acting on behalf of somebody else. Like she's been put in there as like, hey, like this is gonna happen. We're gonna do this, and I'm gonna have you on the inside. Like, and basically, you're gonna do all my bidding. And believes that Ralph is Nightmare. We haven't seen Ralph yet, which is true because I mean, Nightmare lives in like the nightmare in the dream world as it is. So. You know, he looks better in the dark because I mean, essentially, he's living in the dream world. So, which I've been told I live in a dream world myself. So, I take it for what it's worth. What's up, Mel Siggy? And guys, real quick, I just want to say thank you to all the patrons of the Nicotina Show, and they are as follows: it's Zebrafet, Nerdy Many Ways, ACS Universe, Mike G, Gavin Cooley, who couldn't be here today because he has to work in the morning. Gillis 15, Ruben K.S. Rivera Jr., DC Talk with Extended, Mel Siggy, and Darrell McMillan. So guys, thank you so much for supporting the show. And Chris, let me ask you, do you think there's a chance that we could see this guy anywhere towards the end or somewhere in the show? This guy right here, Magneto.
Oh man, I would love it, but are they gonna go with Fassbender or the older version? Like I don't know which way they would. Yeah, I would like it. I just don't think it would be Magneto. If anybody, I think it'd be Charles. Because I think Charles would be the main one of like, oh, okay, so the X-Men are out there. When Magneto, I'm not too sure. Like, I know he's supposed to be, you know, the daughter or the father of Wanda and whatnot, but in the MCU version, I just feel like they're not even going to go down that route or retcon it of like, oh, they were actually adopted and Magneto's the original father.
I mean, it could have been. So one of the theories that I've had, and I've said it multiple times on my stream, so these guys are like, here we go again. So my whole theory is that what if at the end, you know, we are introduced to both Charles Xavier, which is James McAvoy, and Fassbender's Magneto. and we come to find out that the events of House of M in the MCU's iteration of it had already occurred, and it occurred before the events of Iron Man. And so what we're seeing in the MCU is the world with mutants being removed and put into an alternate universe. That she did that and doesn't remember it, you know. And the parents that she had in this world are just who knows who the hell. I mean, they don't go into any detail about who their parents were at all.
There's theories that it's the people in the commercials, the people that you would see in the commercials, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Actually, another question I wanted to ask you, Chris, was I know you touched on it in one of your videos, was the mailman. Now, the mailman.
I have a crazy theory, I know.
Well, but it's not that crazy though. I mean, he could be the guy who Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, because there's someone in witness protection, and they haven't revealed it yet whether he actually is a bad guy or just a coincidence that, like, I was looking for witness protection guy, and all of a sudden this whole town came up that was missing. But yeah, I thought it was the mailman, just because every time he appears, he says like a little funny line that like hints to something more. Like whenever Darcy sees him, she makes guns at him, and he's like, "Don't shoot the messenger." And I'm like, well, that's like a double meaning. If he is witness protection guy, he's a snitch or something, and that's usually why they're there, and he doesn't want to get killed. And then like I noticed with the commercial with the shark and that Gogurt, that shark would always say "little dude" to the guy there. And then in the previous episode, the first line the mailman says when he comes back for a second appearance is "Hey, little dudes." So I was like, oh, okay, is he supposed to be the shark? But it's just crazy theory stuff to throw you off, probably.
Yeah,
it could be. I mean, but I still feel like, look, if we find out that Evan Peters is neither this Quicksilver or the Quicksilver from the MCU, and he's really just the villain, just in disguise, just to throw everybody off. And there is no multiverse being, basically, there is no X-Men universe that some of us think could exist. I think that's a really big letdown, because I think it'd be really cool to see them cross over. But maybe exist in a separate universe, so that that way you can explain their origins and how they've never seen mutants before. Because I still feel that if you introduce mutants now, that it's too late. It would take so much more story to introduce mutants, even if the hex causes it, or if the snap and the blip caused it. A change in people's DNA. I still think there's just too much that you have to do to kind of reintroduce mutants and X-Men and everybody. So, I mean, but we'll see. I mean, obviously I have no idea what Kevin Feige has planned, but we'll find out short enough. But this episode here, I mean, we're going to find out who the engineer is. We keep thinking it's somebody big. Earlier in the chat, they were talking about Hank McCoy. It's possible, but I don't see it being Hank McCoy. I don't. I mean, unless that's what they're going to do, unless they're going to reintroduce all these characters, then if it's Hank McCoy, then everything I said about Charles Xavier and Magneto, that's all out the door. Because I mean, it's kind of like, well, wait a minute, if he's here, then what? You're going to be like, oh yeah, he also has another one in another universe. We call it the Foxverse. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't know. Matt, what do you think?
You just jumped to me so quick.
Yeah, you gotta be ready, man. You gotta be ready.
I mean, I'm not too big into Marvel. I'm not familiar with Hank McCoy. If you could like explain who Hank McCoy is to me, then
Thing.
He's the
Thing.
Beast.
Oh,
the Beast.
I'm not.
Oh, sorry, my. I was already thinking of the Thing.
Oh no,
we're thinking of horror movies now.
No, the Thing is Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah,
Isn't that guy's name also Hank something or
the Thing?
No, it's Ben Grimm.
Ben Grimm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Creature of Black Lagoon. Now I'm all over the place now.
Yeah, it's early.
So
it's early.
Matt, do you know who Beast is? And
the
big blue guy. Yeah,
the werewolf-looking guy. Yeah.
I don't think he'll show up.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna show up. Or watch he shows up looking like Beast. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, whoa, what's happening here?
Beast.
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, we're less than 5 minutes away from switching over just to Twitch to watch the episode. I've been updating right now. We're here with Chris Parker. You can find him on YouTube at 3CFilms. He makes some amazing videos, super funny videos at that. So, Chris, before we go here, do you have any predictions about what you think we're going to see as this series kind of rounds out?
I think with it being the last 3 episodes, I feel like they need to just reveal the bad guy now. Because
man,
if
Yeah.
they save the bad guy reveal for the final episode, I don't think it's going to be enough time of like really enjoying that. I think whether he's like the last 5 minutes, like they always do within those 30-minute credits they throw in, I feel like they just need to show the bad guy this
The
episode.
30-minute credits.
that's what exactly what I said last week though, is like in order to have a compelling story arc for a villain, like if you're going to introduce him, it needs to be now or never, right? It's either now or Wanda's the villain. Like, find a way to do that, right? Because, like, I don't want it to be the last episode we find out that Evan Peters is actually Mephisto, and like Evan Peters is a great bad guy, as we've seen in American Horror Story. He can do it, right? So if Evan Peters isn't Fox X-Men, like if he's not Quicksilver and he's really Mephisto, well, give it to me now then, right? Turn him into the fucking Mephisto now.
You can't wait until the last episode to be like, oh, it's Mephisto. Damn. You know what I mean? And you'll find out in Doctor Strange. You know what I mean? Like, oh, come on.
If you let Evan Peters shine, he's gonna shine. So I don't know. In Feige, I trust, like Nicotina said.
But still, I mean, it could be that Evan Peters is not Quicksilver, that he was actually cast to play Mephisto or another villain who's, doing all this. But there was a comment that was brought up earlier in the chat, real quick, and it said, if I can find it again, that Agnes may be aware that the children, is this right here? Yeah, this is from Obi-Wan Dahomey. He says, I have a feeling Agnes knows the kids are the key to her and Wanda escaping from Ralph, I don't want to say it. Wanda, not so much. And that could be the case where Agnes knows, like, hey, like these kids are the key for us getting out of here. And that's why she's been so, she could be like a double agent where she's like, yeah, I'm here for him or whoever the bad guy is. But at the same time, I'm trying to get the hell out of here because this is not cool. Yeah. It very well could be.
I mean, Agatha, I should say, was a mentor to Wanda in a lot of storylines. So she's not always like a bad guy or a bad person.
There it is right there. There's the answer from Jack Pierre. I think Chris is the cameo at the end. No, yeah, I mean, he very well could be. Can you imagine if Chris came walking through? That's what you got to do on one of your videos. You show up, hey, guys.
Oh, I was pissed. Last thing I'll say before you guys get going is like, I Amazoned an FBI jacket because I wanted to dress up like Jimmy Woo, and the snowstorm. Now I don't get the outfits next week. Yeah, I know.
Damn.
And then your video, you're like, you're with Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, I know. I was like, Monica, Darcy, Jimmy Woo.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us for the pre-show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We'll definitely have to have you back on again, and definitely I'll hit you up later on for the Four Nerds because you're always welcome on that show as well.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
So, Chris, thank you so much, and everyone give Chris some fire emojis, not because he's Mephisto, but because he came in and hung out with us here on the pre-show. Chris, like always, dude, it's a pleasure having you here, man. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Nicotina, and it's good meeting you two guys. I hope I come back eventually. Sorry, it's just when the show drops, I have to get my notebook out, write as much as I can, Google as much as I can, and then try and make my breakdown, and then stay awake. But I appreciate you guys having me on, and yeah, I'll definitely be coming back.
Definitely. All right, Chris.
Stay safe out there, all right?
All right. Yeah, thanks, man. See you guys.
See you later, man. All right, man. Chris Parker from 3CFilms, man. Dude, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to his channel. And he has like a ton of subscribers, but he makes really good content, though. I really like it. Okay. So, I'll sue Feige if Evan Peters is Mephisto. I know. We'll see what happens, you guys. Okay, so, guys, we're going to switch over to Twitch to actually watch the show. Oh, crap. I didn't get the damn link. Let me do that right now. You know, my co-hosts can kind of help me with that sometimes. They just let me do all the work. I can't call you guys out. You're like, oh.
We're supposed to do that.
I know. I didn't know we're supposed to do anything to talk. I'm like, you can't even talk when I ask you to talk. No.
I had no idea.
Look, here comes all the flames now after he left. I missed them all. There you go, Chris. I hope you're still watching.
Superhero names, not alter ego
names. Tony. Okay, so here is the link to the Twitch stream. So guys, jump over to Twitch, follow me on Twitch as well, because we do this every single week, and we're gonna watch WandaVision episode 7. So guys, thank you so much for being here on the Nicotina Show, and we'll see you guys either on Twitch for the watch party or back here on YouTube for the post show /reaction show. And we'll see you guys later.